Hello everybody, this is Brandon Shutter from Kion. This time we will be talking about why you should use the Terraform provider. So Kion under the hood utilizes APIs for all of its actions. And Terraform, via the Terraform provider, is able to tap into those APIs to then allow Terraform to do everything that you would do utilizing the UI or the API with Terraform instead. So the last time that we talked, I had just done a Terraform init after declaring the provider. I'm going to do it again here just to show you. And now that we see that Terraform, the provider, is downloaded, so at this point, I am ready to utilize the Terraform provider. So in order to get the Terraform provider with Kion working, Kion has a set of instructions that it requires. It requires an API key and the URL to the Kion install. You can either set those directly in the Terraform file itself or via an environmental file. For this demo, I'm going to do it directly via the Terraform. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to set the API key equals and the URL equals. And the URL is my sandbox. And I did grab an API key to generate one for this particular demo. I'm going to put this in here. And what I do now is I'm going to run a Terraform plan just to ensure that Terraform is able to connect. And you'll see down here that says, there's no changes. Your infrastructure matches the configuration. That is because I have not done anything yet with the Terraform provider. All I've done is download the Terraform provider via this block and configure the Kion provider via the API key and my URL with this block. Fantastic. Now that we have the provider set up and ready to use, I'm going to show you an example of how to create an IAM policy in Terraform, push it to Kion, as an example of why you should use a Terraform provider. So in the documentation that Kion provides in the Terraform registry, we actually provide an example here. I'm just going to copy and paste that into Terraform. And essentially what's happening here is that you're defining a resource type. In this case, it's a Kion AWS IAM policy. And we're going to name it sample resource, the description of it, who owns it, what user groups own it, and the policy that we're attaching to it. This output block will then take the value of this after Terraform creates it and output it to our terminal, and also allow us to use it in other places later down the road. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear my terminal, make this a little bit cleaner, run a Terraform plan, and you'll see here that Terraform then says, okay, use the Terraform provider to generate the following execution plan. Resource actions are indicated with the following symbols, but plus means create. So Terraform is saying that it's going to create this IAM policy we defined up here, and it's going to, add all this stuff to Kion. And the part where it says known after apply, these are things that the Kion provider is going to reply with, including the ID within Kion, when it was last updated, etc. And then it'll also output the policy ID because of the output. So I like how this looks with Terraform plan. I'm going to go ahead and run Terraform apply. And a Terraform apply will do the same thing as a Terraform plan. It'll show you kind of the expected output. And it'll give you a prompt saying, yes, do you want to approve? I'm going to say, yes, I want to approve this. So Terraform is then going to go out and create this policy, again, utilizing the instruction book from the Terraform provider. And we'll see here that it added one resource, and that policy ID is 567, again, due to the fact that we have this output here. So if we jump back to Kion, and we go to Cloud Management IAM policy, and we look for the one that I just created called sample resource. Here, you'll see that this is the policy that we just created in Terraform, and I didn't have to utilize the Kion UI at all. So this is an example of how to use the Terraform provider that Kion provides to create an IAM policy. This is extremely strong, especially when you start getting into things where you have multiple policies, multiple users that are managing a Kion install, because you're able to kind of define everything via code. And for those that use CI/CD or use Git currently in their workflow, this just becomes another part of that step. Outside of IAM policies, Terraform provides all these other resources. And it really is a fantastic tool, especially if you already utilize Terraform or getting into Terraform to manage your Kion install from one place that you can commit the code. This is just an example of how to use a Terraform provider and why you should use a Terraform provider. Again, this is Brandon Shutter with Kion, and thank you for your time.